All right, folks, good afternoon and welcome on back here this Thursday, September 21st. Getting better at tracking my weekdays here. Great to see Mark still with us here inside our live trading room. Great to see Leda now with us, and perhaps a few more of us just waking on up, joining us right now for this afternoon meeting. So great to have all of us back there inside our live trading room. Great to have us back if you're joining us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. Now, not too much of a surprise for myself. I was looking or expecting it earlier. The markets to break lower pretty much heading into this afternoon meeting or at least shortly afterwards. And here we are now. So something I did not show, but I was just kind of playing around with on my other screen here. If I can share, there we go. I just got a trading view chart up. I just tracking the S&P, and then this is just another screen. So I'm just blocking that, but that's just another ticker. Here you could see, though, this is this morning, the S&P graph at least, not even the SPY, the actual S&P, SPX. So basically, what I was following throughout the morning was basically this trend line off the lows. I thought, okay, well, not only can you use a trend line, but let's just set up a channel. Just figured, why not just set up a channel? I didn't necessarily expect it to hold so perfectly in terms of the move back up. Yes, it broke above this midway line, but then as it retraced back up towards the top of the channel range here and ended up just kind of holding it perfectly, pop and dropping right back down towards the bottom of the channel. Here we go. And I think there could be more room on the way down. So with that said, I think there could be some good shorts to work with. Now, don't tell that to Cosmo here, right? Cosmo up 12+%. It's actually holding pretty strong now at the highs, and it's a stock that we are familiar with inside our live trading room. Good order book for right now. So yeah, definitely I'll slip this on our main list to begin. Cosmo. And with that, though, really quick, for all of us just inside our live trading room, as I choke just from earlier, eat a late lunch here so far. So for all of our gold, platinum, diamond students, you have access to the Phase 2 stock course lined up at 3:05 Eastern Time. I'm going to be talking all about setting stops and taking profits. That's the name of the class, actually. So, really a lot of live market where we have the chance to go over trades from today, but also perhaps trades live that we'll look to follow here this afternoon. So if you're Leda, if you're Mark, if you're Michael, Grant, Kathleen, Barbara, Michael J, or any one of us here, hey, if you have access, I look forward to seeing you, but let's be quick. Let's be quick here. Go across the top percent gainers list and losers list here. SGBXV. I even messed it up the first time. I was going to say, try saying that 3 times fast. This stock, I guess, is a new IPO. SGBXV. There we go. Got it. I guess I could do it, but let's just kind of pass on that, though, for the meantime. Bad order book, bad trade. Same could be said with a lot of these stocks. I mean, you got to go through like penny stock land here, too. LIFW pushing up a little bit, but it's 20 cents. PBTS, pop and drop already. Murph, like Smurf, but said that earlier in the week and it popped and dropped. And once again here today, pretty much opened up and tanked. Now, once again, the SPRY. Wow. Okay, so I had to step away from my desk a little bit just before this meeting started. I would just, I'd do a couple errands, and with that came back, and I had missed out on this SPRY. Actually, probably left even after the run. Be transparent with you if I'm looking back on this run the way I am. Yeah, I mean, altogether, we were in class until 11:30, and then after that, I really had missed out from there, 11:30 to like 12:30. It did move up quite a bit there. I know Rich had called out inside our live trading room. I'm scanning the chat right now, looking it up right now inside the Cyber Group room. So it's a good call out from him. And yeah, if you're able to follow that at the time, really to your advantage, has a good book and ran up pretty nicely, filling the gap or continuing to. I wouldn't expect for it to continue to fill the gap over time. So, it did pull back. It's flat now. I'm not really that thrilled with it here at this point. So, it's one that we'll have to live with if you had missed out on it. We talked about just emotion and psychology earlier. It's not as easy for us to just let go and just accept and swallow the fact that we just missed out on a good move. But hey, we got to do that and we got to move forward. Just think about the next trade ahead. SPLK. What's interesting? So SPLK is a buyout. Actually, hey, in relation to class and what we covered even yesterday in phase 1 news. Buyout. There we go. Now, it's pretty interesting. I saw some options trade, or someone had posted an options trade. It was on Twitter, and it was in relation to this SPLK, like just maybe like a day or two ago, or from last week, someone bought option calls on SPLK, and they're like 44 cents a contract. Now they're like $18. Crazy move. But I wish we all knew that stuff ahead of time, right? Yeah, this is a buyout either way. This is a more expensive one, though. So as far as like what we covered in class, I had mentioned specifically, is it possible it can make like $1 move at the open? Yeah, but it's $144. Think about it. So we're not trying to like scalp and take pennies. Like, just there's much better trades you can make real actual income on. Probably on the way down with the market tanking here the way it is. So let's see if there's likely anything on the loser side for right now. Cosmo makes the gainers list, or makes our watch list rather for right now. That looks good, but I'll tell you what, with market dropping off, obviously, to be said, UVXY pushing back on up. That was choppy throughout the morning session, so we're hoping for a much better trade in terms of direction across UVXY at least. Market dropped off, but this didn't really continue to push up that well. In fact, when the market's made a small reversal just before, this freaking tanked. So you could see how volatile it actually is. If you happen to have a good direction across the market heading into the close, then there should be a great trade. At UVXY, you got SQQQ, which seems to be a little bit more contained, a little bit easier on the eyes in terms of the shakedown, the move back up. So I'd say both are good, and just SQQQ probably the less volatile of the two. You got another one there too, like UVIX, but we're not going to add them all. Those are the two that trade the most volume, in my opinion, UVXY and SQQQ here. All right, so with the market down the way it is, I'm not expecting to find much more on the gainer side, but GPS actually is up. Just wanted to check in on the chart here, up over 5%. Gap was one that got crushed earlier in the week. We called it out as a short with Kohl's really quick. May as well check in on Kohl's. This is still dumping off, so yeah, there it goes. So it goes to show the difference between the two there. Macy's, percentage-wise, but nothing really more to it. All right, so let's see if there's anything looking good on the way down, right? CCG, no shock that this is down. Another 46+%. TVTX, looks like this took a big hit based off some sort of news that had to have come out, but right now pretty flat for us right here. It's down over 41%. So is it possible with a good book that maybe heading into the close, it might make like a late squeeze? Perhaps, but it hasn't really done a whole lot over the last hour here. It bounced up a small bit off the lows, but maybe I'll come back to it at the end. If you want me to come back to this at the end, I'll give it that. TVTX here, we'll come back to this. WW, what goes up does come back down. This thing got smacked bad off that 1210 level, really bad. And we're not just talking off this one little high here. We're talking back from like a couple months ago. Yeah, look at that. Perfect resistance right there at 1210. And we were calling that out, hopeful at least at the time yesterday for it to break higher, hold support, run, into the afternoon, but never did. Pulled back below that price and dropped. So if it's not going to break any higher, you figure that it's more prone to go the other way, but it just goes to show that it could do it very quickly. The following day after, down over or nearly 15%. Actually, in fact, this is down at the lows kind of here, right? 963. It's starting to wiggle up a little bit right now, but I'd be more interested in the short on the way down. So it's not terrible to look at. Again, I'll kind of line it up with the TVTX trade. I'll come back to it here if I feel the need to. TKO, how about this? We talked about this in the morning audio broadcast we do, Fausto and myself. We knew of this from like a month ago, honestly, or even before that. We knew that, big companies out there, even if you don't follow them, just, you got to realize like WWE, old wrestling, they are a huge company, like valued in the billions. For anyone that follows like combat sports, not boxing as much, but UFC, they have grown to become bigger as a company market-wise compared to WWE. They're privately traded, or at least up until Endeavor bought them out. Endeavor is a publicly traded company. They were until they merged with WWE, and now they have this big ticker here, TKO. Get it? Like knockout? So TKO, I think this is the old WWE stock technically, but it took a huge hit today. I had no idea that this was down as much as it was when I was even talking about it. I was just kind of like loosely mentioning the story there, and I noticed, I'm like, wow, not only is this moving down, but this thing is getting clobbered right now. So at the time, I didn't even check the news. All right, I didn't see any really that looked like major. I know there was some news in relation to like one of the wrestling shows, one of the WWE shows going to USA Network, dropping a deal with Fox next year, but I can't possibly imagine for that to be the reason why they're down 14+% right now. Could it be investor sell off? Could it be insider trading? I don't know. I'm not ripping my hair out on that. It's just to say this could be a nice discount over time. And just the more it drops, then it could be a more appealing trade. Look at how it's trending heading into the end of last year into this year. Beautiful move up. So as far as like a short today on the way down, it's just got too thin of a book. Way too thin of, and well, it is the old WWE stock. So the merger looks to be shortable, looks to be easy to borrow. So it's not like the same rules as it would be for like an IPO, technically, like Instacart or whatnot. So it looks shortable, but the order book here is just really too thin. I bet you the option order book is a disaster. Now, on the other end of that spectrum between tradable, not tradable, this thing looks 100% tradable on the way down. It actually is showing big volume filled just recently here at 720. Good short, Redfin, not bad. RDFN. Now, let me ask, what company or what sector is this company in? Do you guys know? From Mark, Leda, Richard, Michael, got a pair of Michaels, trio of Michaels here. Michael B, Michael D, Michael J. But for all of us inside our live trading room, what companies are DFN in Redfin? I would have been a real bozo if I thought I knew and I came out wrong on this, but I'm correct. As are Sam and James and Mark. Real estate, yeah, residential real estate broker. So it is Redfin, the company, right? So if you look up redfin.com, you could look up all sorts of prices on houses and rent and all that stuff. Well, they took a huge hit back a month ago, and now they're only continuing to break lower here. It looks like they're approaching historical area here, at least back from earlier this year. As far as historical, really have to go back to long-term chart, but roughly around like 670-ish, 650-ish on a lower end. But if you go back on like a weekly or monthly scale, let's even go back all the way 20 years back. So looks like the IPO'd only in 2017. That's pretty interesting. I thought they would have had a lot more data to them, actually. So they were breaking all-time lows heading into last year. Maybe we called that out and I just forgot. But yeah, I mean, they've only had data from 2017. Let's take a quick look one more time. Got a doji on the weekly here at 619. That could possibly be support. Either way, as a short heading into this afternoon, 720, if it maintains this as resistance, I think there's more of a chance for this to just seamlessly drop down to 7, and we'll go from there. Hey, what do you know? About 14,000, 15,000 on the bid even. All right, so good trade, Redfin, on the way down. I like that. And I'll tell you, I mean, this is really a very tradable stock on a day-to-day. So I don't know what the option order book looks like, but probably be a little bit more liquid on this compared to whatever the other one was, TKO or Weight Watchers, whatever the case may be there. All right. So, I mean, hey, there's a lot more that's down percentage-wise here. I don't want to look lazy, so I may as well click it. EDR doesn't look terrible. That's why we shouldn't look lazy and click. So it's just not at the low of the day right now. This thing took a huge hit earlier, so technically LOD is at like under 20. It's got a ways to go. It's tradable. It's trending down pretty nicely, right? So you know what? It's down enough percentage-wise. I guess I'll slip this on there, the EDR. I'm selling myself and putting this on there right now. And CWK, not terrible either. Looking at the long-term chart, looks like it's breaking new lows here, or approaching them. From May 716, from pandemic area 684. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, both are tradable, right? They got good order books, good spreads. They all kind of look the same there, like Redfin, the CWK trade that was, and I lost track of that last one there, EDR. All right, so hey, market's dropping, or it looked like it was before, so we'll check back in with all of our sideless stocks here before we finish up. If there is anything else looking good, though, if you're James or Ryan or Grant, any one of us inside the chat board, let me know if there's anything looking good. Same to be said across YouTube and all of our social streams here. Cosmo looks to still be pushing up. So, hey, we got a couple good short opportunities. You got the UVXY ETF, SQQQ ETF, but this also stock, good move on the way up here for the Cosmo trade. NEPT, it's not looking that great. Gonna pass on it. It's kind of like a Hail Mary. Nah. Just going through some sideless stocks here that we typically call out or have in the past. My lovely Mara, it's just slumping off. I closed out a small profit on just option call trade earlier. I was in from the morning. Thing was just dragging me across the late morning, early afternoon, and now it's gone completely sideways. So just may as well just take the money and run, right? The thing with options trading is just that, and especially in a cash account where you could have a better ability to day trade. The downfall of that is that the cash takes a day or two to settle. It takes one day typically for it to settle. So people get, not to necessarily say greedy, but hopeful in terms of their trade panning out and going higher. Well, if it doesn't, this drops, then I'm going to be in the negative a lot quicker than you'd imagine. So you do want to take the money and run if you're not feeling it. Like the saying would go, the only thing for sure is that nothing is for sure. And if you are unsure, I think that you have your answer. I think that you are pretty sure, meaning that if you are unsure, best thing to do is get out, move on. That's the rightful thing to do. Now, with that in mind, though, hey, let me know if there's anything else looking good, though. Up, down, left, right. I'd probably say down more than up. Got nothing inside our live trading room here, so I may have done my job pretty well here this meeting, right? Not a whole lot else out there. Kind of scan through everything, seems like. Weight Watchers just kind of slumping off right now, too. Don't have a great need to put this on our main list just yet. TVTX is the one that's down like 41%. If there's a dead cat bounce, possibly this could be it. It's down enough percentage-wise where, it can get me to think there's a chance, especially with it being more expensive of a stock. And by more expensive, I mean like, you see a lot of these like dollar stocks down 41%. You can't get much ground like penny-wise on a dollar stock down 41% compared to a stock that was $13 yesterday, $7 now. You know what I mean? Like there's a little more, maybe you can get 30 cents a share on a trade like this, 50 cents a share. There's more room with that. So I will add TVTX. Andrea saying, have you looked at the SPRY? I did, and I thought we said, if anything on that, it just looks more flat right now. The stock took a big hit, and it did fill the gap a little bit there from yesterday into today. There is, I guess, a chance for it to try and continue to fill more of it, but the way it looks right now, the last hour, I'm going to pass on it for right now. But, it's got a good book. So it's not untradeable. It's just for right now, there's no trend to it of late. I feel like the wheels have fell off on it for right now. So, maybe at like 3 o'clock, 3:10 Eastern when Rich is on the mic, in about 10, 20 minutes. If there's nothing else from our list looking good and this is starting to rev up, then I'd absolutely switch gears and say SPRY. But watch it blasts over this 18,000 share iceberg right now and starts running. Well, I'll tell you what, if that's the case, we finish up this meeting right now, then subject to change then, right? So otherwise, I would say start with Cosmo. I would start with even the shorts that we have there, the Redfin, the CWK, the EDR, etc. Even the UVXY. If you have level 4, this is where I'll tell you. If you have level 4, then you could trade the ETFs. It's possible. So it's just a matter, of course, seeing the markets break lower for those to go higher. But where is UVXY big levels located, right? That's what level 4 will help you with, finding. So best of luck trading going into the market close for all of us here. I'm going to post the link for class just one more time. We'll post that in a moment there for Sam, James, Roberto, Andrea, Michael, our trio of Michaels, might I say, Lori, Roger, and all of us just joining us here inside our live trading room. And then for all of us just on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc., all of our social streams. I'm going to post my email here. I feel like I haven't done that the last meeting or two. Always like to post my email at the end of these streams, josh@ctutrading.com. There you go. Any questions or comments or emails that you'd want to go over with me on the side trading related, feel more than free to send it on over. But aside from that, though, folks, hey, best of luck trading all together. We'll catch back with everyone tomorrow morning.